Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night. Today we will be beginning Heaven's Feel. Before we do that, I just want to quickly say, my bad. This took a little longer than I anticipated. About a week since the last episode of Unlimited Blade Works. I really meant to do this sooner, but this is my first time trying to manage school and recording in at least like 8 months. Okay, not actually. About half a year, actually. Like, for real, though. The first time I've tried to manage this. And this semester's been a lot busier than the last one was. So, I just wasn't able to manage this week very well. I just need to, going forward, manage my time a little better. And then I should have plenty of extra time to record. I just didn't do that very well this week. The fact that I got the vaccine and had to sleep a bunch more definitely didn't help. But hopefully videos should come out faster than they have been. I don't want it to be a one a week thing. Hopefully it's 2 to 3. But like I said, obviously that's just on me. I just need to see if I can manage my time with school a bit better. I mean, because obviously school comes first at the end of the day. If I can't manage my time well, then, well, school comes first. But if I can, I'd love to record a lot. So we'll just hit start, I think. Okay, and what I remember hearing, or not remember hearing, I just looked this up, actually, is the trigger for this route is to do a bunch of Sakura-related stuff in the prologue. So we're just going to do this. We've seen all this, so I don't think either of these matter, probably. Take Sakura home. Okay, something new then. So, we might have already hit the trigger, frankly. I haven't thanked Sakura for dinner yet, so I'll go and talk to her.
そうだな。夜も遅いし、家まで送って行ってやらないと。
We definitely did this the first time, though, so there might be something different about it now that we've beat Unlimited Blade Works. Because didn't we do this and basically Fujini said, no, you're not bringing her anywhere. And we were like, nah, fair enough. I feel like that happened. Sakura's in the living room getting ready to go home, having finished the cleaning.
あれ? 先輩、お風呂に入ってたんじゃないんですか?
Guess not.
いや、風呂は後回し。さくらを送ってから入る。
送るって私をですか?
ああ、最近物騒だから家まで送る。さくらんち結構遠いだろ。わざわざ来てもらってるんだから、それぐらいはさせてくれ。
Sakura falls into an awkward silence. Did I say something bad?
ごめんなさい。気持ちは嬉しいんですけど、先輩は休んでいてください。家までだったら慣れてますし、一人でも大丈夫ですから。
いや、それはそうだろうけど、今日は特別だ。しばらくは家まで送っていくよ。
でも兄さんに見つかると先輩にまで迷惑がかかります。
Tough. Oh well, I guess. That's right. Sakura's brother, Shinji, doesn't approve of Sakura coming to my place. He can't object too strongly because she can't. Oh my god. Alright, let's remember how to read. He can't object too strongly because she says she's going to Fujini's house, but it could be a problem if I take her home. It's a problem, but so what? I don't care what Shinji says. It's a much bigger problem if Sakura has to walk home alone at dangerous times like these.
俺にかかる迷惑なんていい。ともかく最近は物騒なんだから送ってく。
でもやっぱり先輩に悪いですから。
Yeah, we just don't care.
悪くない。日頃世話になってるんだから送るぐらいさせてくれ。それとも一人で帰りたいのか、さくらは。
いえ、そういうことではなくてですね。
ならいいだろう。これでも腕には自信があるんだ。大抵の防寒は返り討ちにできるから、こんな時ぐらいは使ってやってくれ。 なんか出てきてもちゃんとさくらを守るから。
Hmm. I don't know how this is going to lead into a new route. I'm wondering. I'm just trying to think, see if I can come up with anything, but I don't really have any ideas. I nudged Sakura towards the hallway with a glance.
先輩、本当にいいんですか？また兄さんと喧嘩しちゃうかもしれませんよ。
And I'll beat the brakes off of him. So what? Is that a new Sakura spray? I don't know if we've seen that one yet.
構わないよ。男同士で喧嘩しない方が変だし、シンジとはそれぐらい素直に言い合った方がいいんだ。
It's only right for guys to fight? Dang, I didn't know I've been doing it wrong. Unlucky.
あいつ、ああ見えて隠し事とか嫌いだから、文句があるならすっぱりと言い合った方がすっきりする。
Sakura looked surprised for some reason.
どうした？なんか変なこと言ったか？俺。
いえ、言ってませんよ。先輩が兄さんと仲良くしてくれるのが嬉しいだけです。
I really feel like they're not that good of friends. They just kind of beat the brakes off of each other. Not actually. They don't actually fight that much. I mean, in the story, they end up fighting, but like, all they do is like argue or passive aggressively talk to each other. I don't know. I feel like I just gave a terrible description, but like, up to now, there hasn't been that much resembling a genuine friendship rather than we used to be friends and now we're like pretty rude to each other. Not as bad as Tosaka though.
いや、仲良くってのは難しいぞ。すっきりするのは俺だけで、シンジは逆かもしれないし。
そうですね。けど兄さん、何度喧嘩しても先輩に話しかけるでしょ。兄さん、きっと先輩が苦手なんです。けど、他の人よりずっと好きだから、いつも先輩を気にしてるんですよ。素直じゃない人だから、嫌いな人が好きなんです、兄さん。
I guess that's a good point though. I mean, they do always, no matter how many times they've fought, they do always talk to each other again, so... I mean, there's something resembling a friendship there.
それは、返答に困る意見だな。
はい。先輩が羨ましかったから、少しだけ困らせてみました。
Sakura smiles. Seeing that smile, I hold my breath without realizing it. Would you call that a big smile? I think it's the first time I've seen her smile like that.
とにかく送っていくからな。シンジに見つかったら見つかったでいい。妹を送り届けたんだから、あいつだって文句は言わないだろう。
I'm sure he'll find a way.
そうですね。隠すよりは、そうした方がいいかもしれません。それじゃあ、お言葉に甘えていいですか、先輩。
はいよ。たまには先輩らしいとこを見せてやれ。
I smack my chest. Sakura smiles warmly at my gesture of trust me. We go down the hill and reach the intersection. There's no one around, and the familiar residential district feels desolate. It just feels like we're gonna like run into Ilya or something, man. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, but the town is asleep. The silence is strange. Even though there have always been nasty incidents, shouldn't I really steal this much life?
先輩、私の家、こっちですけど。
Are I going the wrong way?
悪い。ちょっとぼーっとしてた。さくらの家はあっち側の一番上だもんな。
You're singing pretty hard, huh?
いえ、一番上にあるのは東坂先輩のお家ですよ。マトウの家も高いところにありますけど、一番上じゃないんです。
あれ、そうだったか？東坂ってあの東坂？
Yes, that Tosaka.
はい、2年生の東坂凛さんです。先輩、苦手なんですか？
She must have read my reaction, as her comment is accurate. Was I making that kind of a face?
いや、苦手ってわけじゃない。話したこともないし、よく知らない相手だ。ただ、有名な優等生だろ？あいつ。どこにいても目立つから人並みに知ってるだけ。そういうさくらは？
That face.
同
She
じ
does
洋
not
館
believe
だ
us.
し、もしかして近所付き合いとかあるのか？
Look at that face. She does not believe us.
ないですよ。確かに近所ではありますけど、遠坂先輩のお家は坂の上ですから。けど遠坂先輩のお家が洋館だって知ってるんですね、先輩。
How did we know that? Sakura asks quietly.
ああ、ちょっと小耳に挟んだんだ。遠坂のところは幽霊屋敷だとかなんとか。幽霊屋敷って言ったら洋館と相場が決まってるだろ。
Sure.
そうですね。遠坂先輩は一人が好きみたいですから。私も子供の頃、坂の上には怖い魔法使いが住んでるって言われてました。
I mean, that's accurate, but...
へえ、怖い魔法使いか。俺もそんな風な噂は聞いたな。まあ、それ言ったらあっちの家はみんな魔法使いが住んでいそうだけど。ね？
信じました。だって子供だったんです。だから坂の上には行っちゃいけないっていつも思ってました。
Sakura answers my joking question seriously. We go up the hill. It's a residential district rather opposite to mine, but the habits are the same. There are fewer and fewer buildings and more trees as you ascend the hill. It's only natural, as most of the town's facilities are at the bottom of the hill. And all that, one of the few buildings near the top of the hill is Sakura's house. Sakura stops suddenly.
なんだ、忘れ物か？
いえ、忘れ物じゃないんですけど、先輩、うちの近くに誰かいませんか？
Is there? She looks around uneasily. I look around too, but there's no one here except us.
別に誰もいないけど、なんかあったのか？
いえ、いないならいいんです。なんか最近家の近くで見慣れない人をよく見かけるから、
Are we talking about
今日もい
Gilgamesh?
るのかなって。
Is it Gilgamesh?
なんだそれ。なんか危なくないか、そいつ。
That's a lot dangerous.
どんなやつなんだよ。
金髪のかっこいい人でした。モデルさんみたいだから先輩も見たらびっくりすると思います。
Almost certainly Gilgamesh, right? It's gotta be. Sakura says so with a blush, as if recalling him. Sakura, I don't know if that's something I should be worried about.
なんだ、不審なやつってわけじゃないんだ。
わかりません。ただ最近は引っ越してきた人なんていないからおかしいなって。
まあ、とにかく怪しいって言えば怪しいよな。よし、もしまた家のあたりをうろついてるようだったら俺が信じに行ってくれ。捕まえて何してるのか白状させるから。
Best of luck with that.
はい、頼りにしてます。けど手荒なことはしないでくださいね。私先輩に喧嘩されると困ります。
If it's who I think it is, that'd be the worst idea ever. Sakura says so while smiling straight at me.
大丈夫だよ。ちゃんと話し合いから始めるから。さくらが心配することない。
I look away from Sakura's smile as I answer. Geez, Sakura's gestures captivate me more often these days. Me often, not more often. Goodness, man, I can't read today. It would have been nothing a while ago, so I feel like I'm acting weird. Maybe it's because Sakura has grown. Maybe just because I finally noticed it. Well, I do think Sakura has become really beautiful. That on its own is great, but I don't think it's cool for a senpai to have to be careful where he's looking.
それじゃあおやすみなさい先輩。送ってもらえて嬉しかったです。
バカ、礼なんて言うな。晩飯作ってもらってるんだからお礼を言うのはこっちの方だ。
Fair? Sakura just smiles with satisfaction. I guess it's an even exchange though.
こんなんでいいんなら明日から日課にするからな。
はい。先輩の気が向いた時、たまにでいいですから送ってください。兄さんに怒られるけど、私はやっぱり先輩と一緒がいいです。先 また明日ですね。今日はありがとうございました。
No problem. Sakura calls back enthusiastically and disappears into her house.
さて、
I should head home too. I left Fujini at the house, and to be honest, that's what worries me.
あれ
Did I just hear something? I can hear it. The sound of a creaking swing. It takes me a while to realize it's the sound of some bug.
どんな虫かな。何にせよ、季節外れもいいところだ。
I imagine a longhorn beetle in the dark under the cold winter sky. Then I notice.
あれ明かりが3つある。
The one that just lit up is Sakura's room. The light on the first floor is Shinji's room. So what's the light from the third room?
シンジんとこはさくらとシンジしかいないはずだけど。
Interesting. Is it just the servant? Is it just Ryder? Maybe it's a guest, or Shinji's in that room. Anyway, I've been here many times, but this is the first time I've seen the light on in that room. Well, it's a big house. It's not strange for a light to be on somewhere in such a house. It's not strange, but...
なんだろう。なんか胸がざわつくな。
I feel something, like a presence or a bad feeling. In the cold air, the unseasonal sound echoes. If there's such a thing as a hunch, the bug hidden in the bushes feels very ominous. Interesting. Did I actually get on the route? Whoa. My awakening is dark. Perhaps I just don't dream much, but unless something really special happens, I always seem to have the same dream. What I imagine are swords. I don't know why it is, but this is the only thing that comes into my mind. There's no meaning or reason to it. It may just be one of the aspects making up Emi Ashiro. There are no dreams to dream. The only things I recall from sleep are things I was taught a long time ago. For example, about magi. Even if I'm an amateur, if I'm a magus, it's only natural for me to understand the kind of world I live in. Frankly speaking, a magus is an exception who deviates from modern society. But even exceptions must band together to survive. Father told me that the group of magi is called the Magic Association. He also said that I shouldn't associate with them. The Magic Association hides magic and organizes magi. They basically keep watch to see that magi do not affect society with magic, but the strange part is that they do not prohibit misuse of magic. According to Kiritsugu, the Magic Association is only interested in the concealment of magic. Even if a magus carries out his research at the expense of the lives of many ordinary people, the Magic Association will not punish him. The priority is that magic should not become public, so they do not ban magic. So, they're crazy people who think you can do anything as long as you don't get caught. Anyway, the surveillance of the Magic Association is thorough. Most magical research would cost the lives of ordinary people, and as a result, the existence of magic would become public. So, the association does not allow research that would harm society. So magi stay at home and research quietly, while the normal world carries on unmolested. Hence, magi only try to hide themselves to escape the association. So perhaps I just don't know it, and a magus lives in this town. Oh man, that's a good one. That is a good one. Oh man, imagine if a magus lived in this town. That'd be crazy. I hear Fuyuki City is a spiritually excellent area. Such an area always has a distinguished magus with history. They are called the second owner, an elite, and the association entrusts the area to them. Magi who would live in the area must visit them and obtain their permission to construct a workshop. Looking at it like that, we're thieves living here without the permission of the landlord. Father was an outlaw who cut his ties with the association and moved here without the consent of the administrator Fuyuki. The owner doesn't know that Emi Kiritsugu was a magus, and Kiritsugu didn't know who the owner was. With reasoning like that, I think our position is ambiguous. Father, the real magus, has passed away, and I, his son and pupil, don't know the Magic Association and have not the skill to be a magus. From the association's point of view, they would want to catch an amateur like me doing things, but I've seen no movement yet. No, I've heard that Japan is relatively hidden from the eyes of the association, so I think I've just not been found out. But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. People say that the eyes of the association are everywhere. On top of that, if you commit a crime with magic, the heretic hunters of the church will come after you. That just means that whatever you use magic for, lack of care will create enemies. I, Miyashiro, just have to study independently, taking that into account. Good bit of information about the Magic Association. I think we need most of it, but... most of it, if not all of it. But... it's whatever. I wake up to see the sun shining in through the window. The sun may have just risen as it's still a bit dark outside. I get up, trying not to be defeated by the morning chill, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. One of my strengths is waking up at this time, no matter how late I go to sleep. I do sometimes make mistakes and wake up late like yesterday, but I usually wake up early. That couldn't be me. I couldn't be any more different than Shiro in that regard. Since I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, I have to return the favor this morning. I should finish preparing before Sakura arrives. I cook rice and make some miso soup. It was radish and carrot yesterday, so I make onion and potato miso soup today. I also make the usual broth egg and broth boil, and I'm done. I cut and salt this, celery, and stop just before cooking. It's almost 6 o'clock. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some extra time. I guess we just gotta keep going for Sakura stuff. I think that's the impression I am under. That we just do everything Sakura related. We're just gonna start a new page to make it more clear where we are. Heaven's Feel? Question mark? I hope I'm on the right path.
そうだな。時間もあるし、箸休めになんか作っとこう。
I open the refrigerator. All that's left are some cucumber and potatoes.
きゅうりをスティック状に切って塩漬けにしてもいいし、じゃがいもを千切りにして酢の物にしてもいいんだけど。
Those are both things I could do in a couple of minutes, and they're better fresh. It'll be half an hour until Fujini and Sakura arrive, so I should make a dish right before they get here. In that case, this is free time I can't make much use of. Anything I can do in 30 minutes?
夕飯用に鶏のささみがあったから、
Oh lord. Cooking some chicken too? He's going hard in the paint. I could cook some bite-sized meat rolls with vegetables or something like that. I cut the meat and tenderize it. At a glance, the meat tenderizes... What? Y'all, I'm out of it today, I guess. What the heck? At a glance, the meat tenderizer is really evil. It's like a hammer, but it's flat on 4 sides and has a lot of spikes coming out of it. That does sound evil. If they were bigger, it would make a great instrument of torture. Okay, yeah, nice. Let's instrument of torture. Yes, sir. Do instruments of torture count? I flatten the meat with a scary object, put some carrots and kidney beans on it, roll it up, cook it in the pan, and steam it with wine.
ちょっと待て。何してんだ俺。
At that point, I regained my sanity. I was trying to make a side dish, as the celery was already the main dish. So what am I doing, making another main dish?
なんてこった。暇つぶしで余計な料理をするなんて気が抜けてる。
You fool.
暇つぶして作ってたんですか、先輩。
Something like that.
でも誤解のないように説明すると、本当は惣菜を追加しようとしたんだ。それが気がついたら包丁を持ってた。いや、習慣っていうのは怖い。もちろんただの言い訳だけど。
Just how it is sometimes.
でもいいと思いますよ。朝ごはんにしては豪勢ですけど、先輩の料理なら余らないと思います。
I just know it sounds good. I'm gonna take some.
そうかな。いや、そういう問題じゃないだろう。これは一つの空に二つの太陽はいらないんだ。どっちかにはご退場を願わなくちゃいけない。
I mean, I guess.
先輩、せっかく作ったのに食べないんですか？
That's a massive waste.
食べる。予定にはなかったけど、今日の昼は弁当にする。そうすれば余った方も無駄にはならないだろ。うわ、
先輩、今からお弁当作るんですか？
Boy, finna make another meal.
ギリギリかな。まあ、俺一人分ぐらいなら飯もなんとか。
What time is it? And then, I finally realized someone's behind me.
おはようございます、先輩。今日もお邪魔しますね。
It just didn't click to him until now. Sakura greets me with a smile. It's not unusual for Sakura to come into the kitchen at this time. She always rings the bell as she comes in, but sometimes I don't notice, like this morning.
おはようさくら。朝飯の支度はできてるから今で休んでていいぞ。お茶の用意してあるから。
I answer her, staring at the frying pan. On the table is a pot of hot water, a teapot, and some snacks.
はい。今朝も完璧ですね、先輩。
Sakura's voice is lively, as if she's happy about something. And Sakura comes into the kitchen instead of going to the table.
先輩、お弁当作るんですよね。
Oh my god. These, I feel like we've already seen so many new Sakura sprites.
まあ、そういう流れになった。ちょうど弁当向きだし、もう少しおかずを用意しようかなって。
それなら私もいいですか？ちゃんと自分で作りますから。
いや待った。おかず俺のと同じのでいいなら分けられるけど。
はい。さっきから見ていて、先輩の焼き物が食べたいなって思ってたんです。
了解。じゃあさくらはご飯炊いてくれ。2人分の弁当となると飯が足りなくなる。そっちに早炊きができる炊飯ジャーあるだろ？
はい。任されました。それじゃあお手伝いさせていただきますね。
I hear the sound of her footsteps and of her tying her apron. Goodness, man.
先輩、ご飯は2合でいいですよね。
十分なんじゃないかな。
With quick movements, oh my goodness. This has got to be the worst reading performance I've ever put on this channel. Unlucky. With quick movements, Sakura comes to help in the kitchen.
今朝もいい匂いさせてて結構。
You actually stay in the dining room, living room, whatever, somewhere else. A little past 6:30. 30 minutes after Sakura, Fujini arrives as usual.
おはようございます先生。朝ごはんもうちょっと待ってくださいね。
待つってあれ、さくらちゃん、シロと一緒に朝ごはん作ってるの？
いいえ、朝食の支度は先輩が一人でやっつけちゃってました。今は先輩とお弁当を作ってるんです。
Sakura's voice is really lively. We're not doing anything particularly fun, so I don't know what she's so happy about. Spending time with you, you fool.
そっか。そりゃ朝からご機嫌にもなるか。お料理とシロ、楽しいことだらけだもんね。よし、時間は余裕ないけどゆっくりしてていいわよ。
Why is Fujini like all knowing when it comes to this stuff? She just kind of stares at them like, uh-huh. Yeah, I wonder why you're so happy. Exposed. Laughing, Fujini sits at the table and pours some tea.
たく、朝から寝ぼけやがって。学校前に台所に立つことのどこが楽しいってんだ。
This boy is dense. I put the pan back onto the rack. The food's made, so all that's left is to pack the lunch boxes.
悪いな、さくら。部活前だっていうのに無駄な体力使わせて。昨日世話になった分、今朝はゆっくりしてもらおうと思ってたんだが。
いえ、そんなことありませんよ。藤村先生の言う通り、台所に立つのは楽しいです。
She smiles. Well, I know she likes cooking, but still, it must be hard for her getting up at 5 o'clock to make lunch. Besides, Sakura comes and makes dinner often. So if I'm getting her to cook in the mornings too, she might have no free time at all.
手伝ってくれるのは助かるけど、もう少し楽にしろよ、さくら。朝はもちっと眠ったり、放課後だって遊びに行くもんだろ？
Yes.
何も好き好んでうちの手伝いをしなくていいんだ。
Consider this. She wants to.
はい。ですから楽にしています。今日も先輩に朝ごはんを作ってもらいました。お弁当のおかずだって先輩に分けてもらいましたし。
She smiles. It's been a year and a half since Sakura started to help out. Now, she keeps coming back like this no matter what I say.
それとこれは別だろう。さくらだって自分の生活があるんだから、俺や藤姉の世話にかまけてたら大変だぞ。俺を甘やかしてると、そのうち自分の好きなことができなくなるんだからな。
You fool. She is doing the things she wants to.
それも大丈夫です。私、趣味はお料理という意味だけですから。ちなみに将来の目標は先輩の味を超えることで、もうすぐ射程距離だったりします。
Can't let that happen, Shiro. Come on. Sakura puffs her chest out boastfully. I won't argue back, but it's true as she is about to beat me. You gotta put some practice in. You grinded your fighting skills in Unlimited Blade Works, you gotta grind your cooking skills in Heaven's Feel. That's what this route's really about. It's cooking. This is gonna be a cooking competition.
ですから気にしないでください。私、ここでお料理するのが嬉しいし、上手くなるのが楽しいんです。この楽しさを教えてくれた恩返しと、自分の実益を兼ねてお手伝いをしているのです。
それはつまり、日々俺の技術を盗んでいるということなのか?
Oh god, it's Space Jam. Oh, I should have known. She's slowly stealing his talent.
はい。先輩のお手伝いをするだけで、好きなことがめきめき上達しちゃいます。ですから覚悟しててくださいね。今に先輩に参ったって言ってもらうんですから。
Whoa. I can't believe she said it so bluntly.
まったく。こんなことなら料理なんて教えなければよかった。うちに来るまでサラダ油の存在さえ知らなかったくせに、今じゃ虎視眈々と死の首を狙ってやがる。
She's a predator going in for the kill.
なんだってそんなに目の敵にすんだよ、ほんと。飯なんて普通に作れればいいじゃんか。
そんなの目の敵にします。先輩の方が美味しいなんてダメなんですから。
Oh god. I'm not sure what's so bad about that, but we should start setting the table for breakfast. I checked the soury, placing my chopstick on the wall. The wall? On the well-grilled stomach, I check how cooked it is.
上出来かな。ほい、さくら、パス。先に食卓に持って行ってくれ。
はい、お疲れ様です、先輩。
I hand the plate of soury to Sakura. Then, as if remembering something important, Sakura stops dead.
さくら、どうした？忘れ物か？
Sakura may seem shrewd, but she actually forgets things a lot. It's not unusual for her to remember something and stop like this. But it seems like that's not the case this morning.
さくら、
What's going on here? There's no answer. She just blankly stares at my hand like she's still in a daze, then...
先輩、その手の技、何ですか?
Bruise on our hand. She asks me a strange question.
は?
I look down at the hand she's talking about.
あれ、本当だ。
Is it the
手の甲
command
に
spell?
あざができてる。おかしいな。ぶつけた覚えはないんだけど。
For some reason, there's a big bruise on the back of my left hand. It's quite an impressive welt, and it looks like it came from some sort of a cut. Even on my own hand, it looks bad. Perhaps Sakura's not feeling well, she's very quiet.
悪い、あとは任せた。湿布かなんか貼ってくる。
Are we about to basically see the command spell? I feel like we are. Let Sakura take care of the kitchen and head for the dojo. I don't know if I did this during my sleep, but I'll have to treat it. But for some reason, I'm worried about Sakura, who looked awkward and downcast.
それじゃあ、先に行ってますね。
さくら、本当にいいのか？体調が悪いなら部活ぐらい休んでいいんだぞ。
いえ、大丈夫です。ちょっと頭痛がするだけですから、心配には及びません。体調が悪そうに見えるのは、先輩の気のせいですよ。私、すごく元気です。
She says so with a smile, but anyone can tell at a glance that she's just bluffing.
すごく元気か。朝飯、一口も食べられなかったのにか？
Dang, he's calling her out. She looks away awkwardly. Without looking up, she replies.
失礼します。先輩の方こそ、休んでください。
She leaves. The table is cleared, but on the plate in the kitchen, Sakura's meal remains untouched.
まったく、いきなりどうしたんだよ、さくらのやつ。
She had been in such a good mood, but after seeing my bruise, Sakura suddenly became quiet and started to make lots of mistakes. She overfilled the tea, drenched the omelets with soy sauce, and sat down at the table with her apron on. And on top of that, she ate nothing and went to school looking pale. So I'm gonna assume it was a command spell. Right, that's been my assumption this whole time, but it seems more and more likely, and maybe she knows something about it, or maybe she's seen it on Tosaka or something. Or Shinji. I don't know.
風邪でもひいたのかな、さくら。
I'm gonna guess she recognized the bruise. I muttered to myself while cleaning up. It's the first time I've seen Sakura like this. I got to know her during the summer 4 years ago, and she started coming here to help a year and a half ago. In that time, I've never seen her look this ill. Fujini will be at the archery range, so I don't think there will be a problem there. Maybe I should go and check on her after school or sometime. Class is ending and it's time to go home. I can't go anywhere as I have work today. I should leave school and go straight to the neighboring town, but... What are we worried about Tosaka for? I'm gotta be missing some context because I skipped a scene, but... Just the interactions with Issei? Like... We're just gonna say worried about Sakura. We'll see what that was about, I guess, in a while. I'm worried about Sakura. I know it won't do any good to worry about her, but I should at least see if she's doing okay. She's okay. Goodness, I added a word there. Whatever. I walked through the 4th floor, where the first-year students are located. There's no one in the hallway, and not many left in the classrooms either. Seems they've already gone home or to their clubs.
失敗したな。これじゃさくらも部活に行ってる。
Unlucky. Well, I've come this far. I'll go to her classroom, and when I've checked she's not there, I can head to work.
どれ?
I look into classroom 1B. The red-tinted classroom is quiet, and there's no sign of life. There's no one in the classroom. All the students have gone to their respective destinations. In that red classroom, a lone shadow remains.
Sakura.
I enter the red world and call out to her.
Senpai?
The face, covered by her long hair, looks even more lifeless than this morning. Man, something's bugging
どう
her.
したんですか？うちのクラスに何か用事でも。
あ、いや、さくらのクラスに用事はない。単にさくらの様子が気になっただけだ。朝から体調悪そうだったから。
Sakura makes a gloomy face. She's clearly not doing well.
さくら、気分が悪いなら帰らないか。交差点までなら遅れるから一緒に帰ろう。
いえ、いいです。私、どこも悪くありません。
Yeah, I don't think anyone in the world's gonna believe that, but...
いつも通り部活に出て、終わったら先輩のところで夕飯をごちそうになるんです。悪くなんてないんです。だから気にしないでください。
Yeah, nobody believes that. She picks up her bag and starts to walk like she's running away. Why did I say up?
バカ、そんな顔で何言ってんだ。いいから部活は休め。だいたいな、そんなんで弓を引いても帰ってくるもんなんかないだろう。
There. I grab Sakura's hand as she tries to pass me. A crash. Sakura almost falls over just from being grabbed. I quickly pull her hand back. The body I'm dragging is surprisingly light.
びっくりした。さくら、本当に大丈夫か？足全然踏ん張り効いてないじゃないか。
Sakura looks away apologetically. Jeez, what's wrong with her today?
とにかく部活は休みだ。俺もバイト休むから、今日はおとなしく家に帰ろう。
Sakura is silent and does not answer. She doesn't shake my hand off, but it also seems like she won't go home obediently.
どうしたんだよ、さくら。そんなんじゃ部活に出ても意味ないって分かってるだろ？
それは先輩の言う通りです。けど さんが呼んでるから。
Man, she is really quiet right now. Sakura mutters. She says so with a face like that. I can't respond. Seems the circumstances at Sakura's house are complicated, and they're not something I can meddle with. No matter how much I think she's part of my family, her real family is the Matos. Whatever I say, they're just the words of an outsider.
部活には顔を出すだけか、さくら。
はい。私だって今は弓を引けないって分かってます。
そうか。要するに、シンジの顔を立てるだけってことだな。
Pull out a chair and sit on it. I also pull another chair out from the desk next to it.
先輩？
いいから座れ。部活に行くのはもう止めない。その代わり、もうちょっと休んでいけ。シンジには俺から誘われて断るのに時間がかかったって言えばいい。
そんなこと言えません。そんなこと言ったら兄さんまた先輩にその。
He'll what?
シンジがちょっかい出してくるのはいつものことだよ。
Try to beat the brakes off us? Good luck.
いいじゃんか。毎日会話のネタがあってあいつも楽だろ。それにこの話は嘘でも何でもない真っ白な真実なんだから後ろめたいこともない。
I urge Sakura to sit down. Sakura sits down quietly.
よしよし。じゃあちょっと待っててくれ。生徒会室からお茶くすねてくるからな。俺が戻ってくるまで席を立つのは禁止だぞ。
Forbidden.
先輩、お茶をくすねてくるってそんなことしたら怒られるんじゃ。
Really said, yeah, I'm gonna go jug some tea from the student council room.
先生に見つかったらな。何？この手のことには慣れてる。廊下でばったり会わない限り問題ないから。さくらは椅子でふんぞり返っててくれ。
できません。先輩が危ないことしてる時に休んでるなんてもってのほかです。先輩、私お茶なんていいですから。
だから危なくないって。いいから座ってろよ。教室で茶を飲むってのも一度ぐらいはいいもんだ。
Man, if she's worried about him grabbing some tea, imagine during the Holy Grail War. It's like, yeah, I gotta fight for my life tomorrow. You just stay home. Actually, I don't know. Maybe she's an active contender. I jump out into the hallway. The student council room isn't far away. I'll get the tea set quickly and surprise Sakura. I hope so. Time passes. While we do something silly like drinking tea together in a classroom, we just stare outside. Outside the window is a glowing sunset that hurts my eyes. Sakura stares blankly at the sunset. I have nothing to talk about, so I follow Sakura's example and keep my mouth shut. Time passes slowly since we're not talking. Sakura isn't the talkative type, and she often just stares at the scenery. I guess she's more relaxed by herself. Come to think of it, Sakura wants to be alone a lot. Not like she's excluding herself from the crowd, but she wants to isolate herself within the crowd. She looks outside the crowd more than in it. That must be why she stayed here in the classroom. Sakura doesn't actively try to spend time with others. Fujini and I are special. Even I wouldn't have known her if I hadn't met Shinji. I sneak a glance at Sakura. When Shinji introduced me to her 4 years ago, she was just a small girl. Now she's my junior who comes to help around the house, and her childish image is disappearing. Those eyes look dead, bro. Sakura has grown beautiful. No, she was beautiful before, but I think she's become too beautiful as a member of the opposite sex. On top of that, she's thoughtful and gentle. With that many good qualities, I can understand her being called beautiful alongside Tosaka Rin. But it's strange. I don't understand it. Sakura's alone often. She doesn't seem to have any friends in the archery club, and seeing how she's alone in the classroom, she might not have any friends in her class either. Come to think of it, I only know Sakura from the archery club and from my place. I don't know how she is at school or at home. A lot we don't know about her. While I think about this, looking up at the red sky.
先輩、覚えてますか？
Looking outside, Sakura asks me a question. I'm gonna go with no? Maybe?
覚えてるかって何を？
That's the dangerous answer.
ずっと昔の話です。私がまだ先輩を知らなかった頃の話。
つまりさくらと知り合う前の話か？
はい、4年前、私が進学したばかりの頃です。まだ新しい学校に慣れてなくて、あてもなく廊下を歩いているとき、私、不思議なものを見たんですよ。あれは一体どういう経緯だったんでしょうね。もう放課後でグラウンドには陸上部の人もいないっていうのに、誰かが一人だけで走ってたんです。何をしてるのかなって見てみると、その人一人で走り高跳びをしてました。
I'm willing to bet I know who that was. A smile. Must be a lovely memory. Sakura is smiling happily.
真っ赤な夕焼けだったんです。校庭も廊下もみんな真っ赤で、そんな中でですね、一人でずっと走ってるんです。走って飛んで棒を落としてまた繰り返して、周りには誰もいなくて、その高さを越えられないって分かってるのに、ずっと試し続けてました。頑張ればなんとかなるって問題じゃないんですよ。だってその棒、その人の身長よりずっと高かったんです。私から見ても無理だって分かるんだから、その人だってとっくに飛べないって分かってたと思うんです。
I understand. I wonder what she's talking about. I don't think it's strange to see someone practicing even after school.
私、その時良くない子だったんです。嫌なことがあって、誰かに八つ当たりしたかった。失敗しちゃえ、諦めちゃえって、その人がくじける瞬間が見たくなって、ずっと見てたんです。
That's vile. But I do want to know, what's the something bad that happened to her? You're like, is that just some random bad event, or is this some, like, defining part of her character? I don't know. Obviously, it would take a long time to tell. No, the more I read it, the more I think it's just something bad that happened, like, that day. I thought, like, she was saying that's why she was, like a bad girl, right? Like, maybe something, like, had happened to her, and, like, it, like, shifted her mentality in general. But the more I read it, the more it seems to me like something bad had happened to me, like, that day, and she wanted to take it out on someone.
けど、なかなか諦めてくれないんですよ、その人。何度も何度も見ているこっちが怖くなるぐらいできっこないことを繰り返して、全然泣き言を言わなかったんです。
はあ、そりゃよっぽど切羽詰まってたんじゃないのか？明日がレギュラー選定でその高さを飛べないと選ばれないとか。
It's so funny knowing that this is totally Shiro, right? Like, has to be.
いいえ、それは違います。だってその人、陸上部でも何でもない人でしたから。
Oh, I see. Well, that's fine. Why are you smiling, Sakura? Dude. I guess this is
それ
like
でですね、
more obvious to us.
私、見ているうちに気がついたんです。その人、別に何でもいいんだなって。今日たまたま自分のできないことにぶつかって、なら負けないぞって意地を張ってただけなんです。そうして日が落ちて、 その人は一人で片付けをして帰っちゃいました。すごく疲れてるのに何でもなかったみたいに平然と
Casually
しちゃったんです。
casually spent the whole day high jumping because he couldn't he was like, dang, I can't do this. Like, I can't high jump this. I'm gonna figure it out.
わかんないやつだな。けどやめたってことは飛べたんだろそいつ。それな。
これがですね、結局飛べなかったんです。その人3時間もずーっと走ってどうやっても自分じゃ飛べないって納得しただけなんです。
3 hours.
うわ、落ちてないなその話。
はい、あんまりにもまっすぐすぎてその人の心配をしちゃったぐらいです。その人はきっとすごく頼りがいのある人なんです。けどそこが不安で寂しかった。
Her voice itself sounds so lonely. Seems like it will be swallowed by the red in this room.
はあ、話は分かったけどそれが何だってんだよさくら。
Did you miss the do you remember this part?
いえ、わからないのならいいんです。私にはそう見えただけでその人自身にとっては日常茶飯事だったということで。
You know, in a way, it makes sense that he wouldn't pick up on this, but the fact that she started with, do you remember this event? Right? Do you remember this day 4 years ago? Right? And it's like, huh, there's 2 people in this story. I wonder who the other one is. I don't know. It's just funny. Despite her gloomy mood earlier, Sakura smiles sweetly. And then, even though I'm pretty dull, I understand when she puts it like that. I don't remember it myself. 4 years ago was right after my father died. Back then, I did lots of reckless things. So I guess I did something like that. Okay, he did pick it up. Thank God. I thought he actually just wouldn't.
はい、
Oh my God.
今私の前にいる上級生さんでした。
Left clicking too early now too. Lucky.
あの頃は小柄だったから同じ学年かなって勘違いしちゃったんです。
Dang. Wish you wouldn't talk about my height back then. Well, I'm not that tall even now, but I did grow, you know?
そういうことです。私、その時から先輩のことは知ってたんですよ。
そっか。それは初耳。
I look away. She saw me during an embarrassing moment. Then...
はい。私たち、同じものを見てたんです。
Wait, what? With a gesture like a prayer, Sakura says something strange.
え?
I ask, feeling worried. Yeah, what? Were we both misinterpreting that? Was it not actually about that? Like... Yeah? We were both looking at the same thing. I feel like that doesn't mean anything literal. That's just some deeper meaning that I'm just not picking up right now. I ask, feeling worried, but as if to drown it out, the familiar bell echoes through the school.
鐘鳴っちまったな。
It's been 30 minutes since I stopped Sakura. The clock says 4:30.
さすがにこれ以上の遅刻はやばいよな。片付けはやっとくから、さくらは先に行っていいぞ。体、少しは良くなっただろ？
Man, I sure hope so.
はい、おかげさまで元気いっぱいです。今日の夕飯は楽しみにしててください。
Bet. Sakura gets up. Doesn't seem like she's bluffing, as she really seems well.
だって悪いさくら。俺これからバイトだ。今日は遅くなるから無理してうちに来なくていい。
はい、わかりました。ならお夕飯だけ作って置いていきますね。
I mean, I guess. Sakura bows and leaves.
いっか。
Fujini will be at my house, so she should be able to take Sakura home when she leaves. I have to make a living too, so I should go to work quickly. 20 minutes after taking the bus from my school, I arrive at the neighboring town of Shinto across the bridge.
なんだ、まだ5時前か。少し時間があるな。
Miyama City is a residential district, so there's no part-time jobs there. The developing Shinto has many available. The school approves of students having part-time jobs, so I work a few easy ones. I prefer hard physical labor that ends as quickly as possible. It's killing two birds with one stone, as it builds my body when I get paid for it, while I get paid for it. No, he only gains muscle the moment he receives the paycheck. He levels up. Today's job is a simple loading job from 5 to 8 o'clock. Even though it's only 3 hours, there's 6 hours worth of work to do. Make you run around without a minute's rest. I feel like we read this before. So I should rest when I can, even if it's just for 10 minutes. It's a waste of energy walking around until my job, so I guess I'll rest in the park. Yeah, doesn't he come out of this and see Tosaka on the roof? This park among the buildings is like a big field. A park should be filled with people like families and lovers on weekends, but it's empty here now. No, this place is always desolate.
相変わらずだな、ここは。
I'm a bit sad. The utterly neglected ground looks awful compared to the neatly organized surroundings. The desolate area makes the wind feel cold. This is the remains of the conflagration. I guess I did not know how to read that word. Whoops. This is the remains of the conflagration 10 years ago, and this is the place where I was saved from burning to death.
なんで芝生とか植えないんだろう。いつまでもこのままってのはもったいない。
Yeah, that's true. It's a large area, so if they retiled it, the park would get bigger. Thinking absent-mindedly, I sit down on a bench. I stare at the burned land to pass the time. I don't remember what happened here back then. I probably don't remember because I was a kid, and it wouldn't have been an easy scene to memorize. Wait a second. I don't know why this just, like, popped into my head. But in the very beginning, the prologue, right? I'm almost positive Tosaka comes here with Archer. Does he have a weird reaction? Like, I don't know. I don't remember how, or like, what it looked like for him, but, like, does he react to being in this place? There's potentially some foreshadowing there that I just never picked up on. Interesting. It is something I thought about. I probably don't remember because I was a kid, and it wouldn't have been an easy scene to memorize. All I can remember is that it was hot and I couldn't breathe. I don't remember what happened here. That seems wrong. Maybe actively you try not to remember what happened here, but I feel like he has flashbacks. And that people died trying to save others.
どうしてそうなのかな。
For example, an adult that tried to save a child from a burning house. He saved the child, but died in its place. For example, there were people who had their throats burned, but they gave a little water they had to one guy, and the others died. For example, there was someone who ran alone to get away from the fire as fast as possible, and everyone that he passed on the way died. And for example, people who died because they gave away something that was saving them, only to save others they didn't even know. I didn't like things like that. It makes me mad that those who tried hard were sacrificed. Am I greedy to want an ending where everybody is safe and happy? All I wanted was to see people relax peacefully, so why couldn't I manage such a simple thing?
それは難しい。シロの言っていることは誰も彼も救うということだからね。
Kiritsugu answered so to the question I asked as a child. Of course, as a child, I denied it. Because Kiritsugu saved me. I knew he was a sorcerer who could do anything. I knew he was a superhero who couldn't ignore people in need, who saved them for no benefit. So I believed Kiritsugu could have saved everyone back then. When I told him that, he made a troubled expression and said something that I remember to this day.
シロ、誰かを救うということは誰かを助けないということなんだ。いいかい？正義の味方に助けられるのはね、正義の味方が助けたものだけなんだよ。当たり前のことだけど、これが正義の味方の定義なんだ。
I understand that. It's obvious now that he said it. Let's say there's a robber and some hostages, and the robber intends to kill the hostages. With normal methods, most of the hostages will be killed. And if you use a miraculous method to save all the hostages, there'll still be one person who isn't saved. That, of course, is the robber whose hostages were rescued. The people a superhero saves are only those he decides to save. That's why even God cannot save everyone.
それが天才ならなおさらだ。誰であろうと、全てを助けるなんてできなかった。
Fire 10 years ago was like that. It's not something I, who was miraculously saved from it, can talk about now.
けど、嫌だ。
I don't want such a thing. I don't want help that has a limited capacity. You have to help, no matter how impossible it is. I can't stand to have strangers dying around me like back then. So if I had been there 10 years ago, even if it was impossible, I'd have gone into the fire and...
そのまま無駄死にしてたろうな。間違いなく。
Dang. Say he would have died in vain. That's for certain. Jeez, I'm hopeless.
しまった。ぼんやりしてたら5時になっちまった。
The 5 o'clock bell rings. I stand up and quickly make my way to work. This all looks familiar. I don't know if there's anything different about this, but they didn't give me the option to skip the scene, so I'm going to assume there's something different. When my job's done, the sun is already set. It's a bit before 8. I finished 10 minutes early because I worked too hard. It seems I worked frantically since I went to that place before work. Here in front of the station, the night's just getting started. There are lots of people and a constant flow of cars on the road. The buildings are still lit up, and just looking at them makes me feel like I'm watching a grand festival of illumination.
藤根にお土産はいいか。
Bro, he sounds exhausted. I walk while looking up at the lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see the top clearly. I just gaze up the building, just enjoying the night's scenery. I think I see something out of place.
なんだ、今の。
I stop and stare at the rooftop. I focus my eyes, looking at the thing as small as a grain of rice. Hey Tosaka, how you doing? It looks like someone I know. Why is she there? What would she be doing there? With her long hair fluttering and doing nothing, she looks down at the town. It doesn't seem like she notices me down here. No, there's no way she could see me. She's so high up that I, with better eyesight than most, can barely see her by improving my vision with magical energy. I can recognize her since she's standing there alone, but there's no way she would notice me down here among all these people. She's just looking down at the town. Maybe she's looking for something, as I can feel her sharp stare even down here. Oh, she totally sees you. I forget about time and keep looking up at the girl standing in the sky. She's on top of a tall tower. She's like a witch, looking down at the earth with the moon behind her. And then, she must be done with whatever she was doing as she disappears. Her figure has disappeared and the scene returns to the beautiful view of the night.
今の、遠坂だったのかな。
I have no proof, but I think I'm right. There aren't many girls with looks that stand out that much. And more than that, I'm not stupid enough to mistake a girl I secretly admire.
そうか。にしても。
Well, Osaka sure has strange hobbies. Yeah. I'd probably be thinking the same thing right now. I returned to Miyama City. Unlike Shinto, it's really quiet here, as if it were midnight already.
さくら、大丈夫かな。
She seemed to be feeling better, but since she came to my place to make dinner, I think I made her push herself again.
ちょっと様子見てくるか。
It's not like I'll achieve anything by going to her house now, but it should make me feel better than doing nothing. There's nothing wrong at her house. There's no sign of the strange foreigner Sakura was talking about, and the lights are on only in Sakura and Shinji's room as usual. Wait a minute. What was that like yesterday? Was there someone other than Sakura and Shinji in the house?
もし何かこの家に用があるのかね。
Who are you? I spin around. In the darkness of the night, as if hiding in the sound of the bugs, a figure is standing. Who are you? Who is this dude? He's an unfamiliar old man. He must be really old, but he has sharp eyes and a presence that doesn't match his small body. Perhaps it is the difference in the years we have lived, but he has a dignity that pressures me.
どうした若いの？なぜ答えん？答えねばこちらで決めつけてしまうぞ。ではさくらが言っておった不審なよそ者がお前さんだ。ということでよいかな？
No. Who are you? Sakura? Then could this person be...
参ったの。孫の頼みだ。見過ごしておくわけにもいくまい。
It ain't like
見ず
that.
知らずのお前さんには申し訳ないが、
You can cool
少
it.
し痛い目にあってもらわねばならん。
It ain't like that.
念のため聞いておくが、潔く香木の厄介になる気はないか？
The unknown old man asks me such a question. There's no mistake. This is the first time I've met him, but he must be...
いや違います。俺はシンジの同級生で、さくらとは知り合いで、散歩がてらに様子を見に来たエミヤシロというものです。
ああ、そうか。シンジとさくらの知り合いか。それは邪魔をしたな。どれ、二人を呼んでこよう。それとも、夕飯を馳走されるかね。
Look at his eye!
いえ、ちょっと寄っただけですから、すぐ帰ります。それよりおじいさん、さくらはもうちゃんと帰ってきてますか？
造見じゃ。
The old man says an unfamiliar word.
魔頭造見。お前さんが名乗ったというのに、わしが名乗らんままではおかしかろう。
Okay, that's good to know.
造見じゃ。
Zoken? Mato Zoken says so and walks toward the entrance. Seems like he doesn't care about me anymore. Overwhelmed, I see him off without a word. And then...
さくらならば帰ってきておる。それよりエミヤシロ。アインツベルンの娘は双剣かね。
That's a strange question to ask.
アインツ、何ですか？
とぼけるでない。アインツベルンの娘がエミヤを訪ねるは通り、こたびの座の出来はどうかと問うておる。
Yeah, we don't know what you're talking about, man. Not yet, at least. I don't understand at all. Sorry, Sakura, but your old man is pretty hard to deal with.
どうやら本当に知らんらしいな、これは。
Zoken sighs. He looks so shocked that I feel kind of sorry for him.
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、すみません。
いやいや、お主が気に病むことはない。わしの勘違いじゃ。つまらぬことを言ってすまなかった。そら、孫たちに用があるのなら遠慮することはない。年寄りは隠居しておるでな。気兼ねなく尋ねるがよい。
いや、今日は本当に寄っただけです。けど、おじいさん、この家に住んでいるんですか？
住んでおるとも。もっとも見ての通りの老体でな。日がな一日奥座敷でくたびれておる。
It's kind of weird that he didn't even know that. I see. I came to their house until about a year ago, but it seemed then that no one other than Sakura and Shinji lived there.
では失礼するぞ、エミヤシロウ君。うちの孫たちとよくしてやってくれ。
Despite his appearance, he leaves with light footsteps. There's no change in the house. The sound of the bugs has suddenly stopped. That is strange. He is strange. I don't know what's going on with that. The day ends. Finishing a rowdy dinner and seeing Fujini off, I take a bath. After that, I practice my daily routine in the shed. I complete it as usual and go to sleep. It is 1 a.m. The day ends peacefully with no troubles. After Fujini leaves, we lock the house and leave. Actually, I should have saved and at least checked the context of what's going on right now. That was dumb. Heaven's Feel? Question mark? Hold on, let me quickly reload this. Do some brief skips. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Oh no. Really hope this doesn't take too long. I was just trying to quickly check the context of what the heck was going on, in case it was relevant. Oh. Just the flashback. Preparing lunch. Okay. Okay, so there really wasn't any extra context that I needed. Whoops.
さくら、なんだよ、元気がないな。もしかして、また体調が悪くなったのか？
Yeah, she really does not look well.
いえ、体の調子はいいです。先輩の方こそ大事はありませんか？今朝もどこか気分が悪そうでしたし、昨日の傷も悪化してるかもしれません。
Like, is it actually just a bruise? They never showed it to us. I feel like if it was the command spell, they probably would have showed it to us. And why would he have one this early? I don't know. But I just don't know what else it would be. I mean, it could just be an actual bruise, but she seemed to see it and, like, be like, what? Like, and suddenly she felt sick. So I don't know. Yesterday's bruise? Oh, that well to my left hand.
いや、あざはあれっきりだけどな。ただの腫れだからしばらくすれば治るだろう。
She must be worried about something as she continues to stare at me.
ああ、いや、本当に大丈夫だって。大したことないぞ、本当。なんだよ。昨日からおかしいぞ、さくら。こんなのただのあざだろ？それとも何か？俺が寝てる間にさくらが踏んづけてできたあざだとか。
Yeah, I feel like it's not just a welt and Sakura knows that.
先輩、私そんなに重くありません。私は
ただその
間違いだったらいいって。
I don't understand her. Sakura doesn't talk much, but she tends to say important things clearly. She doesn't usually talk like this.
先輩、お願いがあるんですけど、いいですか？
Okay.
ああ、できる範囲でなら聞くけど、なんだ？
はい、私、明日の夜までお手伝いに来られないんです。その間、できるだけ家の中にいてもらえませんか？
それ、日曜のバイトは休めってことか？
はい、できる限り家にいてほしいんです。私も用事が終わればお手伝いに来ますから。
What's going on here?
まあ、一日ぐらい休んでもいいか。
I have no clue what's going on right now, man.
じゃあ、休日は家でのんびりしてる。それでいいか？
はい。そうしてもらえると助かります。
Like, it feels like Sakura knows more than she has let on in the past. I guess it's fine to relax once in a while. I have some extra living expenses from working a lot recently, so I'll clean up all the junk this weekend. Oh, okay, so that was the Night of Fate. So we're just skipping... Oh, okay, so it doesn't change anything regarding that. So we still died. got revived, go back, summon Saber, Saber fights Lancer, we talk to Tosaka, we go to the church. What kind of question is that? Fight. In case this is somehow not the right choice, we'll go ahead and put it in, but we're fighting Berserker. Save Saber? Is it save? Like, would it be different on this route? I'm gonna assume it's save Saber. Oh, we're at an interlude now. After saving Saber. Oh yeah, we're at the bottom of the house again. There's a sound. It's hard to determine if the sound is someone crying or something being dragged. The sound is all there is. There are only decaying things here. The stone walls are fragile like rotten trees, and the air is sweet like honey. The living things on the floor are melted like ripe fruit, and even time is rotten and meaningless here. This space is worn out after a long period of time. This darkness is the grave of all that were not mourned for, because of the tenacity of a certain bloodline.
7人揃ったようだな。
Yep, seems they have. In the center of the darkness wiggles the largest decay. The sound of worms and the smell of rotten meat. The master of this basement room is rotten but alive, and swarmed by the otherworldly worms. So was he not actually there? Like, was he not actually in front of us? Has he just been in this, like, basement the whole time? Because when he left, the out-of-season sounds, right? When the bugs disappeared, right? Sounds like he's swarmed by the otherworldly worms. It sounds to me, and, you know, rotten but alive. Sounds like to me he just hasn't moved. The worms that crawl up his feet suck on the skin and the ankles and use their suckers to consume the meat and burrow into it. That's gross. There aren't merely 100 or so of these swarming worms. If any living things were swarmed by this black carpet, they would not even last a minute. A human would have all their meat and bones taken by the worms and would crumble as a boneless skin.
足りぬ。この虫どもも時期替え時か。
What is he doing with these worms? But the thing does not crumble. No, the more the worms enter his body through the ankles, the more complete his body becomes. The thing is not being consumed by the worms. The worms swarming the room are the ones being eaten. The amount stored will last 100 years. What? If this is something that only eats worms, it means that much more life is already guaranteed. What? What is happening? Is he, like, reverse aging? Or is he in, like, a different body? Because they're making him sound completely unhuman. I don't know.
まだ先はある。こたびが最後というわけでもない。万全でなければ静観に徹するべきなのだが。
Well, says the figure with a smile. The place, this time, is far from perfect. The hole is opening less than 10 years after the last battle. The supervisor, the priest, has 2 servants, and the servant residing at the Ryudo Temple has summoned a servant herself. Yeah. So who is this? Like, how does this guy know all of this already? Like, this guy is mysterious. I don't think that needs to be said, but the conditions are not good. The grail that would be filled in such an unstable battle would be far from perfect. Even if the gate is opened, it would not be possible to reach inside it.
ならば静観するべきなのだが、困ったことに持ち駒だけは適しておる。
So is he like some? He seems like some manipulative force that's gonna come in and try to take the grail. He's gonna be the trump card of the route, like Gilgamesh was probably. The condition to fight for the Holy Grail is terrible. The one thing, that thing created after a lot of work, has been completed perfectly. It shall reach it once it is open. It shall definitely reach the Holy Grail if it makes no mistake in the procedure. After all, It has the content of the Holy Grail planted within it. Ilia. Okay. Ilia. It is a cellular tool that has been contaminated by the Holy Grail for the past 10 years. So as things with the same origin, it is only natural they will attract each other.
わしには次があるが、あれはそう長く持つまい。胎盤としてもらい受けたものだが、よもやあれほどの出来になろうとはの。
As an afterbirth? What does that mean? That thing prepared as an experiment is so suitable you could call it perfect. It was planned to be disposable, but if it can be used, it should be. Either way, it is something that was planned to be disposed of. Even if it is destroyed in battle, it does not change the fact that it will be disposed.
となると問題は一つ。あれをどうやってその気にさせてやるかだが。
The prepared compatible work hates conflict. It would be simple if its mind could be taken over, but the work's mental barrier is stronger than expected. Well, one with a strong magic circuit was what was wished for. So it is only natural for it to be strong against a poison that tries to violate the self. Should it be the obedient doll or the superior pupil? As long as the latter is decided, controlling it is out of the question.
一度でよい。わずかな隙間さえ開けば、あとは自ら聖杯を求めるのであろうが、さて。
Do I have some kind of misunderstanding? Like, no, this has to be Ilia. But Ilia does not seem, unless that does not refer to Ilia with the compatible work. And she doesn't exactly seem to hate conflict. I mean, hasn't she already attacked us with the Berserker at this point? Creating that small opening is the hard part. It does not have a mentality that will break down under external pressure. If it did, it would have broken already 11 years ago. That thing is the strongest fortress that has no blade to strike back. And what will break it must come from within. Its emotions will become the key to change it. Are we talking about Ilia? Man, I don't like it. It feels like it, but at the same time, there are things that don't seem to match with what we know.
Kitaka. さて、では隙間を作ってやるとするか。
Footsteps echo through the darkness. The appearing person walks to the worms in the middle of the decay and... Do I have to kill every master? And asks the anticipated question. They didn't voice that. They don't want us to know who that is. It's very, very noteworthy that they did not voice that line. That makes me think it might not feel or be as obvious as it feels. And the fact that there were some things that just didn't seem right to me. Is it crazy to think that the compatible thing could be Sakura? Hold on, let me look at this again. Okay. Like, this sounds way too much like Ilia. Condition of fight for the Holy Grail is terrible, but one thing, that thing. This is what seems wrong. The prepared, compatible work hates conflict. It does make sense that the mental barrier of Ilya would be really strong. Of course, it does not need to answer such a question. All masters must be killed. We must take away all servants. That is the idea swirling in this basement. Pushing that aside.
お前がそういうのであれば仕方あるまい。では今回も傍観に徹しよう。
The thing says so. A voice of relief in a relaxed air. After giving a kind smile that has no intention of fighting.
しかしそうなると少しばかり尺だの。今回のよりしろの中ではキャツの娘はなかなかによくできておる。勝者が出るとすればおそらくはあやつであろう。
Yeah, she's pretty good at the whole master thing. It murmurs disappointedly. The slack air returns. A small change. A faint emotion of evil fills the room. The one that disliked conflict was moved by that one word. By Tosaka. Could it actually be Sakura? It is built on that small movement. A small crack. A small opening that should not be opened, which the thing itself does not notice. He was just talking about needing to create that opening. Yep. The rotten meat laughs. Swarmed by worms and still rotting, it continues to laugh, still holding a human shape. Alright, I'm back. So, I just got back. I'm pretty sure that was the Heaven's Feel intro. I literally just unplugged my headphones and left the room. I was not going to risk hearing anything. I was not going to risk seeing anything. I just left. If it's worse than the Unlimited Blade Works intro, like you guys said, I don't even want to see a thing, man. Okay, so here's Rin's proposal for an alliance. Oh. Okay, we got something different going on this time. Let's go ahead and save here. Heaven's Feel? I think we're officially in Heaven's Feel. Right? I shouldn't even need to think twice about it. I'm a novice, and Tosaka's at her full potential as a master and a magus. Considering the events yesterday, it'd be smarter to join up with Tosaka. Oh, do I not even have a choice this time around? Huh. Interesting, so that must be a core plot point. I touch my stomach, the place I got cut. It's wrapped in bandages, and touching it sends waves of pain and nausea through me. It's only natural. Also, wait, okay, so this is something I kind of didn't think about, but if we fought Berserker there and we got diced up, then it's almost... we probably hurt Archer, right? Like, we let Saber wail on Archer. Okay. Maybe that's something I should have checked, but that seems like the safe assumption to draw. It's only natural. I wasn't just cut, I was almost split in half. Yeah, definitely then. It's not like in the graveyard from Unlimited Blade Works where, you know, he's got some lingering cuts because of the explosion. That was him getting diced by Berserker. Thanks to Tosaka and Saber, I'm still alive. As long as Berserker is after me, I'm a dead man. But something still lingers in the back of my mind. The black giant called Berserker. The girl in white, accompanied by the strongest servant. The innocent, whimsical, and cruel girl, Iliasville. Iliasville von Einsburn. That's the name Shinji's grandfather said.
Emiya-kun, 返事聞きたいんだけど。
It is the name Shinji's grandfather said. Something to keep in mind. It seems there's a connection there. It would seem there is a connection there. Now, here's the question. Is the person he was talking to Ilya, or was it Sakura? It feels ridiculous to think it could be Sakura, given what we know of her. But I don't know. Just one or two of those things just did not line up with Ilya, or what we think we know of Ilya. And while there's a lot that lines up with does not line up with what we know of Sakura, right? There are a few small things that did, and everything else could be things we just don't know because of omission, right? We technically don't know if Sakura has like a strong magic circuit. We never checked that, right? We never figured out one way or the other. She could very well have seen the thing on her hand and realized we were also a magi, right? Maybe she has been a magi this whole time, because as I said, we noticed, especially when she saw the bruise, right, that I'm assuming was our magic circuit, or not our magic circuit, our command spell. I'm going to assume she looked like she knew what that was, with how pale she was. And with the knowledge that she has to kill all the other masters, that could explain why she was acting like she was, right? It would add up. And then the motivation being, you know, he needed to create that small opening, and then he brings Tosaka into it. And she seems, every time Tosaka's brought up, right, she clearly has a mood shift. I feel like she's like trying, like kind of jealous. She's trying to compete with Tosaka, right? She doesn't like when Tosaka is brought into this. So I honestly, a lot of signs point to Sakura for me, and I'm going to guess that the intro massively spoils whoever it is. That is my bet. It could just be Ilya, right? But I don't know. It feels like a bait and switch, right? It feels like they're baiting us into thinking it's Ilya, and then it won't be, right? Even though she is the one who matches with with having the Holy Grail within her. So I don't know how that could also be Sakura, unless there's two of them. Unless there's two people. I don't know. There's a lot of questions yet to be answered, and just that scene alone has me very intrigued for this route. We're not ending it here, by the way. This sounds like an outro, but just something I was thinking of. There's a lot to think about, man. Alright, let's keep going.
すまん。イリアってこのことを考えてた。遠坂と手を組むってことは、あの子と戦うってことだよな。
Yeah?
ええ。あっちがその気なんだから答えるまでよ。どのみちマスターは全員倒すべき相手だもの。イリアスフィールがその気なら、こっちだって殺す気でやる。
It's also worth noting that they're clearly trying to hide the identity of whoever was in that room, because they did not voice that one line. I feel like that's something... If it is indeed a bait and switch, I feel like the fact that that line is not voiced, in a way, telegraphs that. Right? Because when none of the lines are voiced, like I'm pretty sure the original game had, right? Like with no voiced lines, or mostly not voiced at least, right? That isn't a problem. It's not obvious that, hey, this one line didn't get voiced, right? You know? Because now I'm drawing attention to it. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. It seems like that would be a pretty big thing. They clearly don't want us to know who was in that room. You know, never used a name, and we didn't hear the voice. We would have immediately known if we heard the voice, which is why I think they're obviously trying to hide it, and maybe it just isn't as obvious as we think. Because the obvious answer seems like Ilya, but there's also a lot of evidence that could point to Sakura. I just said we're going to move on, and then I started this again. So I'm going to drop it here. You guys get all that. Just a lot to think about. Tosaka's mind is made up. In Tosaka's mind, that girl is just an enemy that must be defeated, but... I know there's something wrong with me for thinking this way, but I don't want to fight her.
エミヤ君、まさかとは思うけど、イリアスフィールの外見に騙されてるんじゃないでしょうね。
She glares at me. She's sharp. I didn't realize it, but my hesitation seems proof that I was being deceived. She is Berserker's master. If she is such a strong servant, she must be a powerful magus. I shouldn't focus too much on her outward appearance. I shouldn't, but...
すまん、遠坂。
Oh my.
心配してくれるのはありがたいけど、いい返事はできない。 ことがことだからな。簡単に方針を決めちゃいけない気がする。
Is he actually saying no? Wow. I look directly back at her and answer. Tosaka narrows her eyes a bit and nods emotionlessly.
それじゃあ交渉は決裂ね。ま、確かにエミヤ君の言い分も正しいわ。本当に勝つ気があるなら誰も信用できないもの。
I feel like that wasn't his point at all.
そんなことないぞ。俺、遠坂は信用してる。ただ、一人で決められることじゃないだけだ。俺がセイバーのマスターなら、あいつに無断で約束はできない。
That's fair, though. I
な
get,
るほど。
well, I mean,
確かにそう
most,
ね。あなたはもうれっきとしたマスターなんだから。
like most masters probably wouldn't care. Giving a nod of understanding, Tosaka turns away. She strides to the door, her hair fluttering behind her. But just before leaving, the girl who could have been my ally gives me one last look and...
それじゃあね。次に出会ったら敵同士だから。
Unlucky. You hate to see it. You genuinely hate to see it. Like the girl Ilya, she leaves a cold warning. God, man. I hate that. I hate that we have to be enemies with Tosaka, but it is what it is.
マスター、簡略しましたが、私にできる説明は以上です。
まあ、駆け足だけど合点がいった。すまなかったな、セイバ
ー。すまなかったではありません。状況が分かったのなら、これからどうするのかを決めるべきではないですか。
She leans forward expectantly. I see. Saber's the same type as Tosaka, attack first. That's good in its own way, but I can't decide what to do when I don't know what we should be doing.
しばらく様子を見るって場合でもないよな。他のマスターがどんな奴らかはまだわからないし、イリアってこのことも気になる。犠牲者を出さないためにも他のマスターを探すぐらいはするべきなんだろうが。
But I'm a bum. I think it's dangerous to wander around aimlessly. Damn. Maybe I should have cooperated with Tosaka.
イリア、バーサーカーのマスターがどうかしたのですか、シローは。
え、あ、いや、どうして俺たちのことを狙うのかなって気になったんだ。
You know the answer Saber's gonna give you, right?
それに、
like...
あのことは昨日が初対面じゃなかった。前にすれ違ったこともあるし、そのアインツベルンって名前にも覚えがあるんだよ。
Now that part she might react differently to, but I think it's pretty obvious why she'd be after you. But maybe you in particular. Why you in particular? If he feels like he's being directly targeted. Then, after hearing the name Einsburn, Saber gives me a hard look.
セイバー？なんだ、お前もアインツベルンって名前を知ってるのか？
Yes.
知っています。逆に問いますが、シローはその名に覚えがないのですか？
No.
いや、覚えっていうか、ただ聞かれただけなんだ。あの子に会う前に、アインツベルンの娘は健在かなんて、全然関係ないやつに。
そうですか。では、シローは何も聞かされていないのですね。
Yeah, he doesn't know the overlap or the underlying story here. He doesn't know what's happened in the past, I guess. Saber closes her eyes and ponders.
これも何かの因縁でしょう。アインツベルンを知りたいのなら、もう一度教会に赴くべきです。
Okay.
あの神父なら、シローの疑問にもこれから取るべき道にも示唆を与えてくれるはずですから。
So we're gonna actually learn what happened the last time around now?
教会？
That'd be pretty early in the route.
教会って昨日の教会か？けど、もう教会には行っちゃいけないって言われたぞ。
それは方便に過ぎません。あの神父が敷いているルールは、魔術師同士の戦いを律するために作られたあちら側の建前です。シローが魔術協会に属しているのなら従う価値もありますが、所属していないのならば何の価値もありません。
Fair enough. And we are definitely not a part of that association. That is certainly true. Tosaka belongs to the Magic Association, but we don't. We wouldn't gain anything from following their orders, so we can ignore them.
わかりましたか。シローにとってあの教会は最終的な避難場所に過ぎない。彼らの規則に従う義務はないのです。
そうだな。けど、それでもできれば避けたい。あの神父には あんまり会わない方がいい気がする。
Kodamine Kire. That priest feels strange. It's not that I feel enmity or danger. I must not see that man. I'm scared because I might crumble in front of him.
シローの気持ちはわかる。私とて同感です。できることなら、あの神父には関わりたくない。
Yeah, she has a very good reason to not want to have business with him. She declares us with a straight face. That's unexpected. I never thought heroic spirits would have difficulty dealing with human beings, and most of all...
俺はともかく、どうしてセイバーまで苦手なんだ？そもそも、あの神父とは顔を合わせてないだろう。
Man, the cat's really gonna be out of the bag pretty early in this route, huh? Saber hesitates. After frowning, she lifts up her face as if to shake off her hesitation.
彼は前回の聖杯戦争に参加した人物です。どのサーバントのマスターだったかは分かりませんが、キリツグはあの神父を最後まで重視していた。
I know that. I know that. But what did she just say?
セイバー、なんでお前が親父の名前を。
Dang, this is coming out early in this route.
私がキリツグのサーバントだったと言ったのです。前回の聖杯戦争の折、エミやキリツグはマスターの一人でした。私は彼と協力して聖杯戦争に挑み、最後まで勝ち残りました。その中でエミやキリツグはあの神父を最大の敵として捉えていました。私たちを破る者がいるとすれば、それはあの男以外ないと。
He was pretty much right, too. As far as I can tell. Especially if Saber doesn't actually know who his servant was, then yikes. Because obviously we know it was Gilgamesh. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe he just took Gilgamesh in, but it seems to me like it was Gilgamesh. Or that's the impression I was under. I could be wrong about that. Obviously we know he came into possession of Gilgamesh at some point. But I don't know if that was during the war itself or after. But it's probably safer to assume it was during the war itself and that he summoned Gilgamesh. Hold on. Then what? My father was a master in the last Holy Grail War, fought along with Saber and... alongside with Saber, that is. He's part of the cause of that disaster?
嘘だ。そんなことあるもんか。それなら、どうして琴峰は黙ってたんだ？どうして親父は俺に何も言わなかったんだ？
それは私の知るところではありません。キリツグが何を考えていたかなど、私には最後までわからなかった。ですが、あの神父が黙っていたというのなら、それはシローが聞かなかったからでしょう。あの男は問われれば答える人間です。シロー自身が問うのならば、必ず真実を語ります。
Saber stares at me silently. The meaning of being a master. Her green eyes tell me to go to the church of my own will if I want to know about Emiya Kiritsugu. Dang. I did not expect all this fast. In the first episode, man. I head to the church. Saber must plan to watch over me, since she's following me in that outfit. I look up at the church. Even though Saber urged me to come here, I'm still not prepared. I don't feel like going in there to ask the priest about what happened 10 years ago.
Master.
I turn back to the girl behind me.
私はここで待機します。神父にはあなた一人で向き合ってください。
Definitely for the best.
分かってる。ここまで来たんだ。今さら帰るなんてことはしない。
That's good at least.
神父には私が召喚されたことは非してください。同じ英霊が2度召喚されたというのは話すべきことではありませんから。
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
あいつにはキリツグのことだけ問いただす。すぐ戻るからちょっと我慢しててくれ。
はい。シローも注意を。危険が迫った時はすぐに私を呼んでください。あの神父はどこか不吉だ。少しでも気を抜けばあなたの身に何が起こるかわからない。
I mean, given that he is Lancer and Gilgamesh, bad things could happen.
同感だ。大丈夫。何か起きたらすぐに逃げ出すし、セイバーを呼ぶよ。
I take a step onto the stairs. I enter the church, leaving Saber under the winter sky. I don't see the priest in the chapel. In his place, I see a man sitting in a chair. His hair is golden. Oh, hey. He must be a foreigner.
すみません。琴峰神父はいらっしゃいますか?
I ask him, not expecting a response. Hey, what's good, Gilgamesh? The man slowly gets up. At that instant, all my muscles stiffen up. He walks to me. There's something odd about that simple action. He's walking towards me in a casual manner. That's all he's doing, so why am I getting ready to be killed by this man? The man raises his arm. It reaches out for my neck and stops midair.
ほう。良くないものに見入られているな、お前。
He withdraws. Yes, that is only natural. I'm actually the strange one for thinking he was going to kill me just because he was coming closer.
そこで待っていろ。琴峰に用があるのだろ。
He disappears behind the altar. I really thought he was going to attack. Guess he's trying to keep appearance. Maybe he's like, he doesn't realize I'm a threat. So let's not make him realize. Several minutes pass.
驚いたな。まさか半日足らずでリタイアかね。エミヤシロ。
Nope. Kotomine appears, greeting me with that annoying tone I remember from last night.
そんなわけないだろう。単に聞きたいことがあるから来ただけだ。そうでもなけりゃ、頼まれたってお前のところになんて来るもんか。
それは結構。私も暇ではないのでね。簡単に懐かれても困る。
Kotomine draws closer, his firm footsteps filling the air. Is this what you would call invisible pressure? He has a severe air about him that makes people conscious of their weakness. It must be a good characteristic for priests, but could it also be their greatest fault?
どうした?質問があるのなら口にしろ。挨拶などする仲でもあるまい。
He's right. There's no need to be friends with him. I came here to confirm what Saber told me. I should ask him and quickly leave.
聞くことは一つだけだ。どうして黙ってたんだ、あんたは。
さて、黙っていたとは。
I feel like that's not the question to ask. Not why didn't you tell me? Tell me.
親父のことだ。エミやキリツグがマスターで、前回の聖杯戦争で戦ってたってことを、どうして黙っていた？
He does not look guilty. This man is enjoying the fact that Kiritsugu's name came out of my mouth.
答えろよ。あんたが聖杯戦争の監督役なら知ってて当然だよな。なら、なんでそれを黙っていた？
何故も何もなかろう。お前の父が前回のマスターであったことが、お前にとって何の益になる？エミヤ・キリツグの功績はエミヤ・シローには無関係だ。
Honestly, that's completely fair. I feel like he did not go about asking that question in the right way, for these questions. Kotomine's answer isn't wrong. Even if my father was a great master, it doesn't mean I get any benefit out of it.
いや、
But
関係はある。俺がマスターになったのは、キリツグの息子だからか。
that's a valid question, given that we know he has, like, absolutely no, as of now, absolutely no ability as a magus. Right, like, we know what he can do based on unlimited blade works, but as of this point in time, and given the fact that he hasn't seen Archer fight, remember, he didn't see him at the graveyard this time. He's not going to see him fight at the church, presumably. Or the temple, excuse me. He's not going to see him fight there. It means he's probably not going to be the fighter he was in Unlimited Blade Works. I was raised as his son, and I studied magic as his apprentice. I became a master just like him, and made a contract with the exact same heroic spirit. There has to be a meaning behind all this, yeah. That's honestly a fair assumption, because like what I was getting at just now was, as of this point, he has like absolutely no ability as a magus. So how is he a master, right? It almost has to be because he's linked to Kiritsugu, right? And he's linked to Saber. We know that's how he got Saber, but...
あんたは俺に偶然マスターになったって言っただろう。そんな説明より、キリツグのことを言えば、俺はあんたの思い通り戦うと決めたはずだ。
それこそ私の知り得ることではない。遺伝によるマスターの継承など知らぬし、そもそもお前はキリツグの息子ではあるまい。
That's true. What are the odds that, like, somehow Shiro's... I mean, what are the odds that somehow Shiro's prior family becomes relevant in all this? I don't know. I don't know.
何の用意もなく、何の覚悟もなかった人間がマスターに選ばれることは稀なの。本来いかに魔術師であろうと、聖杯を知らぬ者に霊樹は宿らん。その例外であるお前が選ばれた理由など、私の知るところではない。
それじゃあ、本当に親父は関係ないんだな。俺がマスターになったのはただの偶然で、あの時、親父が俺を助けたのも、ただの...
He saved me out of pure goodwill?
私が知る限りではな。だが聖杯の思惑となると、私には計り知れん。エミやシロがマスターに選ばれたことは偶然と切り捨てたいところだが、少なからず因果を感じる。
Yeah, seems like a fair assumption.
聖杯を否定したエミやキリツグの息子に贖罪を求めているのやもしれん。
That would make sense, actually. In a way.
親父が聖杯を否定した？
そうだ。お前の父は聖杯を手に入れるためだけにこの町を訪れた男だ。あの男の目的は聖杯だけだった。その純粋な願いに聖杯は応え、あの男にならば自らを渡してもよいと思ったのかもしれん。
But then once he learned what it really was, he rejected it.
だが、エミやキリツグは聖杯を裏切った。奴は最後の最後で聖杯を破壊した。聖杯戦争そのものを終わらせるために、奴に期待を寄せた聖杯と、その祝願を裏切ったのだ。
聖杯を破壊した。
If that's true, the Holy Grail certainly would not approve of Emiya Kiritsugu. But he was correct. The Holy Grail that grants any wish. Magi kill each other to obtain it. The Holy Grail is the cause of the conflict. My father did not betray anyone when he destroyed the Holy Grail. He ended the Holy Grail War as the superhero I always admired.
裏切ってなんかない。キリツグは聖杯を不要だと考えたから破壊したんだろう。キリツグは何も裏切ってなんかない。
そうだな。お前はそれ以前のキリツグを知らないのだったな。
I mean, obviously.
いいだろう。無駄な話だが、エミやキリツグの正体を教えてやる。
The priest smiles. It is the ominous smile of someone intoxicated with delight.
エミやキリツグ。あの男は聖杯戦争とは無関係な位置に立つ魔術師だった。奴は斧が欲望、斧が目的のために生き、その結論として聖杯を求めた。自身の力では叶わない奇跡。人間の力では実現できない理想。本来諦めざるを得ないそんな子供じみた夢を捨てきれなかったがゆえに、あの男は願望期である聖杯に望みをかけたのだろう。
What was the dream? Is it just the superhero dream?
奴がどこでこの土地の聖杯戦争を聞きつけたかは知らない。あるいは奴ではない外部の者が奴の適応性に目をつけたのかもしれん。結論としてエミヤ・キリツグはマスターとして雇われた。アインツ・ベルン、聖杯戦争の原因ともいえる魔術師の血族に最高のマスターとして迎えられたのだ。
We knew this much, or if it wasn't directly stated, I at least figured out as much.
過去3度にわたる戦いの末、アインツベルンは戦闘能力に特化したマスターを求めた。実際アインツベルンの魔術は戦闘向きではない。彼らは戦いには不向きな一族だ。それゆえに殺し合いに長け、魔術協会に属さなかったキリツグに望みを託した。異端であるキリツグに聖杯の知識を与え、マスターとしての力を与え、アインツベルンの血と交わることでより戦闘向きの後継者を生み出しもした。
There's no actual way, right? There's no actual way, right? A woman to produce a successor who would be more suited to combat. Is it safe to assume that successor is Ilya? I don't know. Part of that seems off, but it depends on how long he was in cahoots with the Einspurns. It would, I mean, frankly, it would explain a lot with regards to Ilya. Because I remember, I noticed pretty early she was calling Shiro brother. Right? So, she, I don't know. Maybe it's a stretch to think that she is his kid? Maybe we should just move on for now. Think about it later. But that's just the first thing that jumps out to me.
聖杯を手に入れた暁には、エミやキリツグは正式にアインツベルンの人間として迎えられたはずだ。どこの出ともわからない馬の骨を貴族に迎え入れるようなものでな。アインツベルンにおけるキリツグの扱いは破格であり、それゆえにどれほどキリツグを信頼していたかは容易に想像できる。
And he actually did betray that trust.
そうしてエミやキリツグは期待に応えた。前回の聖杯戦争においてキリツグは多くのマスターを倒した。
Oh, jeez.
奴と戦い一命を取り留めた者は私一人だ。残りは確実に殺された。奴は的確であり、周到であり、蛮勇であり無情だった。敵にかける情けなどない。殺すと決めればただ殺した。サーバントをほふり、助けを請うマスターを這わせ、逃げようとする頭蓋に銃口を当てて引き金を引いた。殺した後の考えもない。強さを誇る優越も、消えた弱者への罪悪もない。
Excuse me? Jesus. Oh my. Okay, Kiritsugu. I see.
一言で言ってしまえば、あれは機械だ。元から感情がないのだ。ならば、喜怒哀楽が入り込む余地などなかろう。
親父が機械？
そうだ。奴は殺したぞ。お前のように無関係な人間を巻き込まないなどという考えもなかった。相手の弱みを徹底的に叩き、反撃の余地など与えなかった。敵の肉親を盾にし、敵の友人を足かせにして速やかに勝ち残っていった。
Oh my god. Did he actually? Oh my goodness.
そうだな。もし今回の戦いにキリツグがいるのなら、お前が最も剣をするマスターになっただろう。非常だということが悪になるのなら、前回の戦いで最も分かりやすい悪はあの男を置いて他にはなかったのだから。
Oh no, I can already imagine the extent that, like, how this is gonna affect him. Like, I don't know exactly how it will, I just know it's going to.
どうした？納得がいかないか？
I love how happy he is saying this.
分かっている。無論エミやキリツグは機械などではない。奴は目的のために市場を切り捨てただけだ。それが魔術による自己暗示ではなく、あくまで自分の意志だけだったというところが、奴の強さでもあり弱さでもあった。冷徹であるという異なる人格さえ用意すればたやすいものを。そんな人間では聖杯に届かない、届く価値がないと信じたのだろう。だがそこまでして結局その弱さが奴に全てを裏切らせた。キリツグに一族の祝願をかけたアインツベル。5人ものマスターが倒され、所有者の前に現れた聖杯。エミやキリツグ自身が望んでいた人の手では絶対に叶わない願い。
What was the wish?
その全てを奴は土壇場で切り捨てた。
We know that much, though.
それが前回の戦いの結末。お前が父と記憶している一人の魔術師の正体だ。
Why'd he throw it all away? Sudden change of heart? Was there a particular reason?
そうして聖杯は消え、聖杯戦争は幕を閉じた。キリツグに裏切られたアインツベルンは撤退し、次の聖杯の用意に10年を費やした。今にして思えば、アインツベルンは今回の聖杯戦争を予期していたのだろうな。
Oh, for sure.
前回の戦いは結果が出ないうちに終わった戦いだ。使われきれなかった魔力は次の戦いに持ち越される。仕切り直しは驚くほど早いと分かっていたのだろう。
I can't accept Kotomine's story. That Kiritsugu was a cold-hearted master, and that a noble family of magi had a connection to my father. There's no way I can accept it all when it comes so suddenly. All I can tell from this is that Kotomine did not lie, and...
コトミネ、あんた、キリツグを嫌っていたのか？
The man before me, the one who was uninterested in everything, actually displays anger towards Kiritsugu.
当然だ。奴と私は両極に位置していた。私とあの男は生まれついての旧敵だ。マキリやアインツベルンには同類として移ったらしいが、私たちは共に互いを天敵だと認識していた。
What do you mean the same kind?
天敵？親父があんたを警戒していたように、あんたも親父を警戒していたのか？
警戒ではない。互いに無視しても無視しきれぬ存在だっただけの話だ。あれはな、どしがたいほどの聖人だった。人死にを許さぬくせに、人を助けるために自らの手で人を殺す。党の命を生かすために一の犠牲が必要とされるなら、速やかに自らの手で事を成した。
That is a brutal version of that superhero ideology, huh? Isn't that basically what Archer became? For a while?
皆が笑えるのならいいという心中の理想郷を体現するために、最低限の生贄を常に用意した。その矛盾。破綻した理想は私と同じくするものであり、だが致命的に同胞ではなかったのだ。奴は自らの理想に生きた。 その理想は私の知り得る限り聖杯を破壊するまで守られたはずだ。だからこそ自身に誇りを持ち、疑う余地なく冷徹な機械であり続けられたのだろう。それが私と奴の類似であり相違だ。いかなる葛藤にも動じなかった。鉄のそれゆえに奴は一つも傷を負わず、そしてあれには初めから傷しかなかった。奴は作為的な人でなしであり、私は作為的な聖職者だった。
That was really well put, huh? Jeez, man. He was wounded from the start. So that means the premise he believed in was wrong from the start?
じゃあ、あんたは違うのか。傷を負わないのでもなく、傷しかないのでもない。切られれば傷を負う、まっとうな人間だって。あんたは神父だから、そこが切り継ぐとは違うと。
さて、そうであればエミやキリツグと同類などと思われまい。連中が私とエミやキリツグを同視したのは別のと。そうだな。人間的に似ているというのなら、お前こそキリツグに似た部分がある。
Yeah.
幼いままの願望を持つ者、綺麗事を信じ、そのために汚れ役を引き受ける者。
Yeah.
自らを強大な悪として有象無象の小さな悪を打ち消す者。お前やキリツグは半英雄と呼ばれる救い手のあり方だ。
You're not wrong, in a way, honestly.
繁栄優ってなんだよそれ。
字のごとしだが、英雄の反対、どしがたい殺人者という意味だ。
あのな、それってただの悪党だろう。お前。
なんと誤解があるようだが、私はお前を歓迎しているぞ。何しろキリツグの息子だ。旧敵の息子に頼りにされてみろ。喜ぶべきか悲しむべきか、複雑すぎて心が定まらん。
Yeah, that's fair, actually. That would be a pretty complex feeling to resolve. The priest laughs silently. I don't know his true intentions, but he doesn't seem to be bored.
さて、繁栄優の話だったな。言ってしまえば、存在そのものが悪とされるもの。そうでありながら、その悪行が全体にとって善行となるもの。本人の意志とは裏腹に、周囲の人間が救い手と祭り上げたもの。そういったものが、繁栄優と呼ばれる英霊だ。端的に言えば、人柱や生贄がこれにあたる。たとえ極悪人であろうと、その人間を生贄にすることで、村人全員が助かるのなら、それは間違いなく英雄だろう。
I suppose he's not wrong, honestly.
英雄と称される生贄が食い殺されようと、地中に埋められようと知ったことではない。貧乏くじを引かされた者、一方的に押し付けられた汚れ役が人々を救う偉業を成し遂げたのなら、
それ戦死したら御社で階級が上がるとか、そういう話か。
大きく違う。大事なのは祭り上げる側の意識だ。敬意や感謝、罪悪感から生まれるのは真っ当な英雄だろう。そんな感謝の心、罪悪感などで祭り上げられては反英雄になどなれん。まあ、自らの醜ささえ忘れ、喜劇を悲劇にすり替えるのが人間だ。悪として葬られた英雄も、時が経てば被害者として扱われ、純粋悪ではなくなってしまう。
純粋悪ではなくなってしまう。
そうだ。反英雄は被害者でありながら、究極的な加害者でなくてはならない。
This is interesting.
人が生み出したものでありながら、決して人の手が混ざらず成長するもの、その矛盾こそがあらゆる抑止の圧力を免除される世界の敵である。もっとも純粋な繁栄優などそうはいない。あれは存在しないものだ。そういうものがいてくれたらいいという人間の願望に過ぎない。それは現在を否定するための生贄、人間の生み出した一つの理想。平穏と道義とされる叶うことのない願いの一つが繁栄優と呼ばれるものと覚えておけばいい。
Some of this just seems like nonsense to me, but some of it's really interesting.
要するに叶うことのない綺麗事だ。
Okay, that's what he meant.
お前もキリツグも正義の味方を目指しているのだろう。ならば立派な繁栄優ということだ。どうだ、聖杯を手に入れた時の望みは一層英雄になるというのは。
英雄と正義の味方は違うだろう。あんたが何を言いたいのかこれっぽっちもわからないが、そんな関係に引っかかるか。
ほう、違うとはどのあたりが違うのだ。
そんなの知るか。とにかく違うもんは違うんだ。それにな、英雄なんてのはなるものじゃなくて終わった後になってるもんだろ。聖杯が用意できるものなんて結局分不相応の力だけじゃないのか。
One would assume, at least. I don't know. We don't know what I can give.
血はつながっておらずとも親子は親子か。
Yeah.
キリツグといいお前といい筋金が入っている。
He must be making fun of me, as his smile is friendly. This guy hates my father. But he doesn't anger me because, well, he has yet to say anything bad about my father.
あんたさ、もしかして本当は親父と気があったんじゃないのか。
I ask him when I realize this.
ほう、なぜそう思う？
別に、なんとなくそう思っただけだ。
では間違いだな。私はエミやキリツグを嫌っているし、そもそも話したこともない。奴とは一度殺し合っただけだ。
And I think he was kind of assuming a situation where you're not immediately going to try to kill each other, but...
言っただろう。私たちは両極だと。奴の願いと私の願いは、それこそ種別が違う。持たざる者の疑問など、もとより持ち得るものの中にはあるまい。
His eyes tell me that is why His eyes tell me that is why they would never have been able to get along.
持たざるものって、キリツグにあってあんたにないものがあったっていうのか。
そうだ。私はエミやキリツグのように信じる者のために意志を変えるなどということはできなかった。まあ目的は違うのだから比べるべくもないのだが。
Changing your will for something you believe in. Is that like saving 10 by killing 1, like he said earlier?
わからずともいい。ただ、エミやキリツグの願いは平和だった。実にシンプルだろう。シンプルすぎるがゆえに、複雑な世の中ではパーツが余ってしまう。その完璧な形に入りきれない犠牲は、無視するしかない。奴は、それが許容できなかった。完璧な形を求めながら、こぼれ落ちる余分を救いたかったのだ。だが、それは人の手に余る奇跡だ。
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
争いのない世界はここには存在しない。奴はそれを否定するために聖杯を求めた。理想を探し求め、手に入らないと結論を突きつけられた奴には、もう聖杯以外に道はなかった。自らの理想に追い詰められた者の末路だ。エミやキリツグという男の夢は、聖杯というありえないものでしか叶わない。 叶うはずのない魔法だった。
A world without conflict. Did my father really believe in such a thing? He worked hard to become strong, but the more he matured, the more he was cornered by reality. But still, he still kept believing in his ideal, and in the end, attained the miracle-granting Holy Grail. Emi Kiritsugu must have experienced many failures by that time. First of all, to seek the Holy Grail means knowing your wish is unattainable by normal means. He wore out and strayed far away from his ideal. But my father still sought the Holy Grail, for his ideal, and for everything he sacrificed.
でも結局、親父は聖杯を壊した。願いは叶えられなかったんだろう。
So why would he do that? Beyond maybe, I mean, maybe the simplest explanation is he realized the Grail isn't what it promised it was, or what was promised, you know?
そうだ。奴自身が最後に自分自身を裏切ったのだ。奴に憤怒を覚えたといえば、まさしくあの瞬間だったろう。
But he keeps saying it was his own self that betrayed him. I don't understand what he means by that, honestly. Maybe I'm just tired, but I don't get what he means.
正直に言えばな、私はそれでも良いと思ったのだ。一人の人間が望んだ平穏とはどのような形になるのか興味深くはあったからな。
あんたはそうじゃないのか。神父なんだろ一応。
The priest nods, saying that a world without conflict is what everyone desires.
だがその願いは私のものではない。そもそも私には人並みの願いなどない。
人並みの願いがない？
From what we know of the Fate route, he's got some weird wishes.
そうだ。願いとはすなわち、その人間が最も心地よいと感じるあり方だろう。エミやキリツグにとって、それが争いのない世界だっただけの話でな。簡単な話だ。人が幸福と感じる事実が私にはなかった。人を信じることも、人に信じられることもどうということはない。お前たちが幸福と呼ぶものでは、私に喜びを与えなかった。
He says this emotionlessly. He's not talking to me. It's almost like a monologue.
さて、話はここまでだな。エミやキリツグがマスターだったかどうか、その質問には十分答えただろう。
I'd say you did.
いや、ちょっと待った。聞きたいのは親父のことだけじゃない。
I think we're getting kicked out, or about my preparation for the role of master, and about how I should go about fighting from now on. Oh, you can't answer that. I might laugh and make fun of me if I asked something so stupid. I want to avoid that. In fact, I will avoid it.
他に質問があるのなら手短に済まそう。今の話は思いのほか時間を取ったからな。
No, there was something else I wanted to ask him about. Didn't I come to this church because I wanted this question answered?
アインツベルンのことはいいのか？彼らにとってキリツグの息子であるお前は抹殺対象だと思うのだが。
そうだ、その話。そもそもアインツベルンって何なんだ？さっきあんたは聖杯戦争の原因とか言ってたけど。
なあ、原因だとも。聖杯戦争が魔術儀式だということは話しただろう。儀式である以上、それを仕組んだ者がいるのは道理だ。
Well, that would make sense.
200年前、この地の霊脈に歪みがあると知った魔術師たちがいてな。彼らは互いに秘術を提供し合い、聖杯を起動させる陣をこの地の深くに作り上げた。それが聖杯戦争の発端だ。この起動式の作成に関わった3つの家系こそが聖杯の正当な所有者でもある。
And they're constantly boxing for it.
聖杯を作り上げた者、英霊を酷使する霊樹を考案した者、土地を提供し世界に道をうがつ秘術を提供した者。アインツベルン、マキリ、トーサカ、始まりの御三家。私やお前では 太刀打ちできぬ歴史と血筋を誇る者たちがそれだ。この中で土着の者は遠坂だけだが、遠坂とて大師父はかのシュバインオーグだ。もっとも遠坂の大師父が伝え聞く通りの人物ならば人種分けなど滑稽だが。
Their fatherly master is that Schweinorg? What is that? What? Huh?
つまりアインツベルンってのは聖杯戦争の一番偉いやつってことか。
I have no clue what the heck this sentence even is saying.
過去ではな。だが聖杯召喚が失敗し、今のように聖杯の所有者が曖昧になってからは参加者に過ぎなくなった。今では聖杯の器を作り上げるだけの役割だ。マキリと遠坂もそれは同じだ。彼らはただマスターに選ばれやすいという権利を持つだけの家系だな。
Well, we got all of them this time around.
と言っても、もともとこの聖杯はアインツベルンが考案したものだ。かの一族の歴史は1000年、分家も持たず、他と交わらずに1000の年月を重ねた家系は少ない。わかるかエミヤシロ。アインツベルンはな、1000年もの間、ただ聖杯の成就だけを追い求めてきた。
Yes, they're probably pretty mad at us, huh?
1000年だぞ。聖地奪還という使命を盾に、殺して殺して殺し尽くすなどという異次元の蛮行がまかり通った昔。彼らは熱狂的ではなく、演出的ではなく、狂信的でもなく、絶望的な十字架のみを胸に、未到達さを貫き通してきた。故にアインツベルンの魔術師は魔の領域さえ突破している。10年単位ですら忘却され消耗する集団の意志をその何倍も繰り返した挙句、ただの一度も道を誤らなかった怪物ども。
Not the Ainsburns, though.
それが自分たち以外の魔術師を招き入れる屈辱と挫折など、我々に想像できるものではない。
Yeah, and then got betrayed by them.
しかしそれでも彼らは聖杯の成就を優先した。
They were right there.
過ちを繰り返し500年。自分たちだけでは手に入らぬと受け入れるのに300年。そしてやはり自分たちの力でなければ手に入らぬと改めるまでさらに200年。アインツベルンは文字通り自らを殺す気概でマキリと遠坂たちと協力した。その結果が聖杯の所有権を奪われ、一参加者として競争し合うという体たらくだ。その屈辱に耐え守り通した血の結束を破ってまで外来の魔術師を招き入れたというのに、
Yeah.
エミヤ・キリツグは聖杯を前にしてあろうことかアインツベルンを裏切った。
I think it's fair to say they didn't take very well to that.
それがかの一族とエミヤ・キリツグの関係だ。お前とアインツベルンはそういう因縁のもとにある。
I see. Then it's natural for that girl to come after me. It's natural for them not to let their betrayer's son go if he becomes a master.
理解したかな。マスターになる者は皆何らかの業を背負っているが、中でもマキリとアインツベルンの執念は言葉に表せるものではない。マキリが500年ならばアインツベルンは1000年だ。
Yeah.
正当な権利を主張するのならば聖杯はどちらかの手に渡らねば救われぬだろうな。
I'm at a loss for words. No man can sin against an obsession that has lasted for centuries.
そう落ち込むな。エミやキリツグはアインツベルンを裏切ったが、それを非道となじることはない。逆に言えば、奴は1000年の怨霊を向こうに回してまで、斧が願いの成就にかけたのだ。
That is indeed another way to put it. Puts a more positive spin on it.
それこそ自身の内に沈むあらゆるものを捨て去ってな。それは十分に誇れることではないかね。
You'd think. People who accepted him. Something he protected by opposing 1,000 years of history. Not burying everything the priest has told me. Burying. I'm not buying everything the priest has told me, but if it really is true, I'm to call myself my father's son. I have to follow my beliefs like he did.
どうした？1000年と聞いて戦意がそがれたのかね。
No,
エミやシロ。
more like the complete opposite, I'd say.
そがれてなんかない。理由はどうあれ、俺は戦うと決めたんだ。他のマスターが何を考えようが、10年前のようなことは起こさせない。
I raise my head in determination. The priest nods, apparently satisfied.
十分だ。それがお前の戦う意義ならば、死をとして戦うがいい。長引けばそれだけ犠牲者は出る。キリツグと同じよう、夜ごと斧が命を計りにかけて、標的をおびき寄せろ。
他人事だと思って言いたい放題だな。要するに、蒔絵になれってことだろう、それ。
Yeah, something like that. That's not a bad idea, though.
他にかけるものがないのだから仕方あるまい。
Yeah, probably the best play.
何？それほど絶望的な策でもないぞ。お前にはマスターを感知する能力はないが、サーバントはサーバントの気配を感じ取れる。お前のサーバントが優れているのならば、あとは座して待つのみだろう。
I turn my back to him. There's nothing else I need to ask. I've kept Saber waiting, so I should be going back now.
待て。一応聞いておくが、お前は治癒の魔術を習得しているか？
Nope. Is there a reason you're asking? Feels like there is.
してない。それがどうした？
いや、ならば負傷者が出たのなら連れてくるがいい。犠牲者を出すのは教会としても見過ごせないのでな。間に合うのならこちらで治療は引き受けよう。
Based on what we know of the Fate route, that's concerning. I
驚いた
stop.
な。あんた治療魔術なんてできるのか？教会じゃご法度だろそれ。
本来は管轄外だが覚えた。昔目の前で死病つきに死なれてな。それを機に手を染めてみたのだが、思いのほか相性が良かったようだ。ああ、ただしお前本人の治療には見返りを要求するぞ。監督役として平等でなくてはならないからな。
Oh, I'm sure you'll do plenty of healing for us, man.
お断りだ。死んでもお前の世話になんかなるもんか。
I turn away, and this time I really do leave. Status and weapons screen updated. With what? I mean, with Saber stuff, I'd assume this would all be here already, right? Yeah, we know all this. I mean, I think we should have seen all this information already, right? I don't know what here we wouldn't have seen at this point. Maybe something in the weapon screen? No? Must have just been something we kind of already knew, but... Oh man, okay. Do I keep going? Like, it feels like talking with Saber would be a natural way to continue here, but at the same time, this episode's already been pretty long. I'm really tired and I got stuff to do, so I'm probably just gonna end it here. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Okay. Bookmark. I can't even spell bookmark. Okay, so this was a really good episode. I'm excited to have finally started this route. There was a lot here. And man, I don't even know what to think about, like, all of it. So first of all, I think the two big things are, one, the scene in the basement that I've already talked a lot about. I already talked a lot about that scene. I don't have too much more to say. I feel like there's a lot of interesting possibilities based on that scene. Like, I don't know. Who was he really talking to? Right? It feels like it would have been Sakura. I mean, it could be someone else. It could be. But it felt like it seemed in a lot of ways he was talking about Ilya, but there were some things that just did not line up. And he talked to somebody in person. So, I don't know. But he also asked about Ilya. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I could see that one really going either way. And then we also got a lot of information about Kiritsugu and the prior Holy Grail War here. And I just got to say, the more I hear about Kiritsugu, the more interested I am in watching Fate Zero, man. Seeing his Holy Grail War. I don't even have much to say beyond that, man. I kind of said everything I had to say as it was happening today. This was a great episode. As I said before, I really hope that I'll be able to, like, manage my schedule a bit better and record more often. If I don't, just know that means I'm probably caught up with school stuff. I'm not gonna, like, abandon Fate or anything. So hopefully the next episode comes soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have enjoyed the first episode of Heaven's Feel. And whenever the next episode comes out, I hope to see you guys there. Peace.